Okay, how's it going? Today I have another bike review. This is, I think, a new version of the Razor MX650. Let's unbox it really quick and I'll show you what comes in the box. I'll talk about why I bought it. We'll put this thing together and go put it through its paces. Alright, here it is out of the box. This is what comes with the bike itself, the manual, little warranty card, the smallest charger I've ever seen, 1.67 amps, the clamps for the handlebars, the through axle, the front fender, bag of tools, and the front wheel. Looks like a pretty easy assembly process, so I'll throw it together really quick. I won't bore you with that. But first, to give you some idea about the size, here's me behind it. I mean, it's pretty tiny. This thing's going to be ridiculous when I'm done with it. Alright, so she's all put together. It was extremely straightforward, very easy to assemble. Didn't have any issues. So let's get out there, test it in every way, and go over the details. Here she is, all put together. So right off the back, let's just do a top speed run really quick and see how fast she can go. Alright, so let's do a top speed run really quick. Alright, a solid 14 miles an hour, not too shabby. There's only one mode on here. There's no sport mode or eco mode or anything. Oh, I hit 15 right there for a second. Alright. Before we go any further, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to make it to 10,000 subscribers. You can help me out with that. Also, give a like, comment any questions you have below, and watch the video to the end. It really helps my channel a lot. So like I said, there's only one gear. I mean, it's a pretty simple like cockpit. You just have like your powers on. You have your battery full and low. I think it probably changes colors. I have no idea if it gets low. To turn it on, there's just an on-off switch right here, and there's a little charging port. So this is a 36 volt. It has 650 watts of power. The battery is 12 amp hours. So I don't know what the watt hours are, but I'll put it right here. You're looking at probably about 7 for me, probably 5 to 7 miles of range, something like that. It does have disc brakes, but they're wired disc brakes. It's got these small, I think they're 6 1/4 inch rotors. Let's test out the brakes really quick and see how they do. All right, so let's get up to full speed, see how these brakes do. I think right after this little political sign here, I'll hit the brakes. Oh wow. Actually not too bad at all. 4 little wired brakes, tiny little 6-inch rotors. Did actually pretty good. Cool. Actually not too bad. Pretty surprised. They worked better than I thought they were for cable brakes and tiny little rotors. These are going to be changed out. So by the way, I bought this because I'm going to completely upgrade it. I'm going to turn it into like a 72 volt, 14 kilowatt monster that goes like 60, 65 miles an hour. But I thought before I tear it apart, might as well do a little review on the stock version of it. I got this one because it was cheaper than the normal MX650s. I don't know why. I kind of like the graphics better on this one. The black with the camo looks pretty cool. Here's a price comparison on Walmart. You can see it's quite a bit cheaper, but the specs are exactly the same. It's the same exact bike. So it's rocking, I think it's a 12 inch in the rear. No, supposedly it's 14 inch in the rear and 16 inch in the front. I'm going to measure that to verify. I'll put right here if it was correct or not, but they seem smaller than that to me as far as the wheels. Actually, let's just measure these. Yeah, I guess 14 inches. Wait, it's 14 in the front. I could have sworn it said 16. And so what are these, 10? Okay, it's 10 in the rear. So it's 10 in the rear and 14 in the front. I could have sworn it said 14 and 16. I'm actually going to check. Let me check online really quick, see what they are. So they got these, you know, knobby type tires. They actually feel pretty good on the road and off-road. A little bit of off-roading I did. Not too shabby. Over here, let's just check what the wheelbase is. I think wheelbase is like hub to hub. So about 40 inches. Yeah, about 40 inches in the wheelbase. And here's a closer look at the pegs. I'm definitely going to change those out. I have some spare ones I think I can throw in there. So another thing I didn't mention is it has this like, I don't know, quarter throttle here. It doesn't have a full throttle, but it feels fine. The grips are really hard. I'll be changing these out for sure. Obviously, you have to change them up because I'm going to be using a different throttle. I'll be using the Domino throttle for it, for the new one. And the bar height actually feels pretty good on this. I'm going to be changing the bars too, of course, but the stock one feels pretty good. So it's got this tiny little motor here. Let's see, it doesn't really have the max power or anything like that, but it is a 650 watt bike. So as far as like suspension, it's really easy for me to bottom out this rear suspension, obviously, because this is made for little kids and teenagers, and I'm a fat man. So the forks are actually, they're okay. I'm going to change them, of course, but I'll change the entire suspension. But I mean, for a kid, this is fine. Even for a lighter adult, if you weigh 150, 160 pounds, you could probably just live with the stock suspension and be totally fine. The ergonomics, actually, they don't feel too bad. You know, I might get some lowering links for the pegs, but you know, that doesn't feel too bad. I know I look absolutely ridiculous on this thing, but I don't give a shit. It's fun, so whatever. I mean, even though we all know this isn't going to do great off-road with me on it, but let's do just a quick grass test and see how she does. So, I mean, just off-road, I don't know if you can hear it, but my rear end is just bouncing. It's bottoming out with just like tiny little bumps. I mean, it's what you would expect for a little kid's bike. I'm 275 pounds, so I'm definitely going to be changing that. Yeah, every little bounce I'm bottoming out that rear suspension. So I think this thing is going to be crazy when I get done with it. I ordered a full Socian set. The rear swing arm with the motor, comes with the sprocket, the chain, the brakes, the whole kit I have coming. I also ordered the front matching wheel and tire from Socian with the brakes and the rotor, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a full Socian kit in terms of wheels and motors and all that. And it's going to run at 14 kilowatts. I'm completely gutting this FewMoto B1. So I'll be taking the Amorg, whatever battery out of it. It's a 72 volt, 28 amp hour battery, and the far driver controller. I think the far driver is limited at 200 amps. So I'm going to run it at 200 amps, which is 14 kilowatts, which is plenty powerful for this little tiny thing. I mean, it's going to be insane. So that's the plans for it. Those videos are coming up pretty soon. As soon as I get the equipment, I'll do a whole build series for this thing. So stay tuned for that. Normally I would do like a steep hill climb test, but I'm not going to right now. One, because it's too far away. I don't think I'll make it back. And it's just not going to make it up with me on it. I already know that. The acceleration on this thing is not too shabby either. It feels fine. It gets up and goes pretty good. It gets up to top speed pretty quickly for this 36 volt, 650 watt bike. I really like the way it looks. I think it's going to be badass when I get done with it with the supermotos on it, the Socian motor. I'm going to leave the graphics on, and I'm actually going to keep all the stock plastics, so it's kind of a sleeper. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my FewMoto sticker on the front and take that sticker off. So this is like a Realtree version. I think it's just like a special edition with the black and the graphics. Everything else is the same. Maybe it wasn't selling that great and that's why they lowered the price on it or something, but I think it's awesome. I haven't seen another one like this on YouTube so far, so I think this will be the first one of these builds. Yeah, well, I mean, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the build. It's coming up. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.